There's a category error at the center of most home gardening, and I made it faithfully for over 2 decades. When a plant looked pale, I'd reach for a fertilizer. When growth stalled, I'd add nutrients. I was treating symptoms with a model borrowed from human medicine. Find the deficiency, supply the supplement. The problem is that plants aren't patients. They're participants in a system. And the moment I stopped feeding my plants and started feeding the community living in my soil, everything changed in a way I still find difficult to fully explain. Here's what nobody tells you when you start gardening. When you pour fertilizer on your soil, you're not feeding a relationship. You're feeding a dependency. You're bypassing a food delivery system that has been feeding plants for hundreds of millions of years. No synthetic chemicals. No trowel. No you. Stay to the end. I'll show you exactly what I do instead. And the one thing you can add to your garden this season that costs almost nothing and outlasts any fertilizer you've ever bought. One number changed everything for me. 1 teaspoon of healthy soil contains up to 1 billion bacteria. Not a million, a billion. Plus several yards of fungal filaments, thousands of protozoa, dozens of nematodes, all in a spoon. This is not dirt. Dirt is what you brush off your shoes. This is a living, self-regulating ecosystem with one job: keeping your plants fed. Scientists call it the soil food web. And here's the insight that took me embarrassingly long to grasp. Plants don't eat nutrients directly. They hire microbes to deliver them. Your roots aren't passive collectors. They're active recruiters. Right now, plant roots are releasing sugars and amino acids into the soil, deliberately, strategically, to attract the bacteria and fungi that feed them. That 2-millimeter zone around every root has its own name: the rhizosphere, one of the most biologically active places on Earth, vomiting. Here's how the real nutrient delivery system works. Once you get this, the whole feed your plants model falls apart. Step 1. The bacteria and fungi go to work. They produce enzymes that break down organic matter, but not just compost. They unlock nutrients from the mineral structure of the soil itself. The sand, the silt, the tiny rock particles, phosphorus, iron, potassium, calcium, all locked inside crystalline structures your roots cannot crack open alone. The microbes crack them open. Step 2. The predators arrive. Protozoa and nematodes move in and eat the bacteria and fungi. When they do, they excrete waste, a nutrient-dense liquid the root absorbs directly. Research from Oregon State University found that up to 80% of the nitrogen available to plants comes from bacteria-eating protozoa, not from a bag, from predator waste. Step 3. The fungi extend the network. Mycorrhizal fungi weave through the soil and cover up to 700 times more ground than the roots themselves. They mine water and nutrients from places roots could never reach, and deliver them straight into the root cells. In return, the plant sends sugar back down to feed the fungi. A trade, an economy, an ancient partnership. 700 times more soil area. That's not a small extension. That's a completely different scale of access. Here's where it gets uncomfortable. When you apply synthetic NPK fertilizer, the big numbers on the bag, you're dumping concentrated chemical salts directly into this ecosystem. The plants take it up fast. You see green within days. It works. I'm not saying it doesn't, but here's what else it does. Long-term synthetic fertilizer use significantly reduces the microbial population doing your nutrient cycling. And phosphorus-rich fertilizers? The Royal Horticultural Society notes they're thought to suppress the mycorrhizal relationship entirely, because the plant stops investing in the partnership when phosphorus is already sitting in the soil. Think about that. You're not supplementing a system. You're dismantling one. Every season you use the bottle, the microbial community gets a little less capable of functioning without it. The soil becomes dependent, and so do you. Every time you feed your plants, you're making the problem worse. Subscribe, because we're going deep on the practical side right now. Step 1. Feed the fungi, not the plant. Stop adding nutrients to the soil. Start adding food for the organisms that create nutrients. Sounds subtle. It isn't. Synthetic fertilizer feeds the plant. Compost, or organic matter, mulch, that feeds the microbial community. And when that community thrives, it generates more nutrition, in more balanced forms, on a more precise delivery cycle than anything in a bottle. Start here. Compost. Not because it's a fertilizer, though it contains nutrients. Because it's a living microbial inoculant. Quality compost holds up to 1 billion bacteria per teaspoon, up to 900 feet of fungal hyphae, thousands of protozoa. When you add 2 to 3 inches to your beds, you're introducing workforce that starts immediately. Apply it on top. Don't dig it in. Don't turn it over. Let the rain and the earthworms do that work. Why? Because mycorrhizal threads are fragile. Tilling destroys them. You want that underground highway intact. Step 2. Protect the rhizosphere. The rhizosphere is not self-sustaining if you keep disrupting it. Here's what disrupts it: bare soil, synthetic chemicals, anything that kills the bacteria and fungi living there. Here's what protects it: mulch. I know, unsexy. Spreading wood chips doesn't feel like doing anything. But here's what you're actually doing: creating the conditions the biology needs to thrive. Moisture retention, temperature regulation, a slow carbon feed for the fungi. Fungi need a consistent carbon source. Without it, their population drops. The mycorrhizal partnerships doing the nutrient lifting for your plants weaken or collapse entirely. The action: 2 to 4 inches of organic mulch kept away from the base of your stems every season. Not a product, not a system, a habit. Step 3. Understand the nitrogen cycle. Here's the objection I hear most: my soil is depleted. I need nitrogen now. I can't wait for microbes. Here's what's actually happening. Certain bacteria can pull nitrogen directly from the atmosphere and convert it into forms your plant can use. They live in the soil. They live around the roots of legumes, beans, clover. Plant a cover crop, interplant with legumes, and you're deploying living nitrogen factories. And it goes beyond nitrogen. Rhizosphere bacteria cycle phosphorus, iron, manganese, zinc, copper. The micronutrients your plant is almost certainly missing, and that a standard NPK fertilizer doesn't even address. The system is already built. The ingredients are already in your soil. What's been missing isn't the nutrients. It's the microbial workforce to process and deliver them. That workforce runs on organic matter. Feed the organic matter. Feed the workforce. The common mistakes mirror. No judgment. I've made every single one of these. Mistake 1. Fertilizing at the first sign of yellowing. Yellowing is usually pH imbalance or microbial deficiency, not nutrient deficiency. Adding more fertilizer is like giving someone food when their digestive system isn't working. The nutrition can't be processed. Mistake 2. Watering on a schedule. The microbial community needs moisture, but it also needs air. Overwatering kills the beneficial aerobic bacteria. Water when the top 2 inches feel dry. Water deeply. Mistake 3. Tilling every season to loosen the soil. I did this for years. I was destroying the fungal network season after season and wondering why my plants never built momentum. Leave the soil structure alone. Mistake 4. Using one balanced fertilizer for everything. Different plants, different growth stages, different seasons, all need different nutrient ratios. A single balanced fertilizer is a blunt instrument. The soil food web is responsive. It adjusts. It delivers what the plant signals it needs, when it signals it. I promised you something. Here it is. Make a worm casting tea. Worm castings are one of the most biologically rich substances you can add to a garden. Bacteria, fungi, protozoa, plant-available nutrients, all in concentrated bioavailable form. Brew them into a liquid and apply as a drench. And you're not just adding nutrition. You're inoculating your rhizosphere with a living microbial community. Right at the root zone. Right where they start working immediately. Here's how. 1. Fill a bucket with dechlorinated water. Tap water left overnight works. Rainwater is better. 2. Add 2 to 3 handfuls of quality worm castings. 3. Add 1 tablespoon of unsulfured molasses. This feeds the bacteria during the brew. 4. Drop in a small aquarium pump and air stone. Bubble it for 24 to 36 hours. 5. Apply immediately as a soil drench. 1 to 2 cups per plant, directly at the base. You're creating a population explosion of beneficial microbes, then depositing them exactly where your plant's roots can work with them. Microbial activity in your rhizosphere spikes within days. No bottle from a garden center does this, because no bottle contains living organisms, only chemistry. Your garden needs biology. You've been feeding your plants. Most of us have. See a problem, apply a product, wait for green. But that model treats your soil as an inert growing medium. It isn't. It's a living system with billions of organisms that evolved specifically to support plant growth. When you feed the soil, compost, organic mulch, no tilling, living microbial inoculants, you're not working harder. You're working with something that already knows what to do. Do less of the wrong thing. Let the system work. The plants that thrive aren't the ones you fed the most. They're the ones you stopped feeding. If this changed how you think about your garden, drop a comment. Tell me what product you're putting down for the last time. And if you have a friend still standing in that garden center holding a bottle, send this to them. Next video, the 5 cover crops that do more for your soil biology than anything you can buy. Most of them you can seed right now. I'll see you there.